A confident person can admit they don't know something or that they've made a mistake because they understand that imperfection is part of being human. They are secure enough to seek help, ask questions, and learn. Someone with an inflated ego, however, will avoid admitting any weakness at all costs. They may deny, make excuses, or even distort the truth to protect their image of being right. This difference is crucial because genuine confidence thrives on growth, while ego stagnates in self-protection. A confident person listens with the intent to understand. They can let someone else speak without feeling threatened. They value other perspectives and know that wisdom can come from anywhere. The ego-driven person interrupts, talks over others, and constantly steers the conversation back to themselves. For them, listening is not about understanding. It's about waiting for their turn to speak. Confidence seeks connection. Ego seeks attention. Confidence is rooted in a deep sense of self-worth that does not depend on constant validation. It comes from knowing who you are, your values, and your strengths, even when no one is watching. Ego, on the other hand, relies on external recognition. Without likes, praise, or applause, it feels empty and insecure. This is why ego chases awards, titles, and approval from others, while confidence is content simply doing what is right and meaningful. When challenges arise, confidence remains open to learning and adapting. It doesn't see failure as the end, but as feedback, a stepping stone to improvement. Ego, however, perceives failure as a threat to its identity and will do anything to hide it. This is why ego avoids risks and new experiences. It fears being exposed. Confidence is not afraid to be a beginner again, while ego pretends it's already an expert. In everything, confident individuals can celebrate the success of others without feeling diminished. They genuinely applaud someone else's achievements, knowing that someone else's win is not their loss. Ego, in contrast, often feels envy or resentment when others succeed, as if it takes away from their worth. Ego competes unnecessarily, while confidence collaborates. Confidence stays calm under criticism because it separates self-worth from performance. It can listen to feedback objectively and decide whether it's useful. Ego reacts defensively, often attacking the critic instead of considering the message. This defensive nature prevents growth and damages relationships. Confidence treats criticism as a possible gift. Ego treats it as a personal attack. Confident people are willing to change their opinions when presented with new information. They see flexibility as a sign of wisdom. Ego refuses to change, fearing it will look weak or inconsistent. This rigidity locks a person into outdated beliefs and poor decisions. Confidence says, I was wrong and I've learned. Ego says, I've always been right. Confidence is comfortable with sharing the spotlight. It can let others lead, teach, or shine without needing to make it about itself. The need to be the center of attention will often sabotage or overshadow others to maintain that position. Confidence understands that true leadership often means empowering others, while ego fears losing control. Lastly, confidence is about serving a purpose greater than oneself. It asks, how can I contribute? Ego asks, how can I benefit? Confidence builds trust, lasting relationships, and meaningful achievements because it focuses on value. Ego burns bridges, isolates itself, and often ends up unfulfilled because it's focused on self-importance. When you compare the two side by side, it's clear confidence is expansive, ego is restrictive. Confidence leads to growth, ego to stagnation. Confidence inspires, ego intimidates. Confidence is secure, ego is fragile. The choice to nurture confidence over ego is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's in every moment you choose to listen instead of interrupt, to admit instead of deny, to support instead of compete. Building true confidence means cultivating habits that strengthen your self-worth from the inside out. Start by becoming aware of your thoughts and actions. When you catch yourself seeking approval, pause and ask, would I still do this if no one knew about it? That question alone can shift you from ego-driven behavior to confidence-driven choices. Another habit is practicing gratitude, especially for other people's strengths and successes. This rewires your mind to see abundance instead of scarcity. When you believe there's enough success to go around, you stop viewing others as threats and start viewing them as allies. Learn to accept discomfort. Ego avoids it because it fears exposure. Confidence embraces it because it knows discomfort is where growth lives. Whether it's speaking up in a meeting, trying a new skill, or admitting a mistake, choose the path that stretches you, not the one that protects your image. Reflect regularly on your values. Confidence is deeply connected to living in alignment with what you believe in. Ego shifts based on what will make it look better in the moment. By knowing your values and returning to them often, you give yourself a compass that keeps you grounded. Surround yourself with people who challenge you, not just those who praise you. Confidence thrives in honest, constructive environments. Ego wants an echo chamber where it's always right. Choose friends, mentors, and colleagues who are willing to tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable. Practice humility. Not the kind where you downplay your abilities, but the kind where you understand you are part of something bigger. Confidence says, I'm proud of what I've done, and I'm still learning. Ego says, I'm the best, and I have nothing to learn. Humility keeps your confidence healthy and your growth continuous. Be mindful of your self-talk. The way you speak to yourself in private shapes how you act in public. Confidence uses language that is encouraging, realistic, and solution-focused. Ego uses language that is judgmental, defensive, and obsessed with appearances. Pay attention to whether your inner voice is building you up or tearing you down. Finally, remember that confidence is not about being loud, dominant, or flawless. It's about being steady, genuine, and adaptable. It's about walking into any room and not needing to prove you belong because you already know you do. Ego walks in needing to be noticed. Confidence walks in ready to notice others. The journey from ego to confidence is one of the most valuable transformations you can make. It changes how you lead, how you love, and how you live. And it's not about erasing your ego, it's about putting it in its rightful place. Ego can alert you when you're being undervalued, but it should never be in the driver's seat. Let confidence take the wheel, and you'll find that the road ahead becomes clearer, calmer, and far more rewarding.